Okay, next semifinals is two European teams, a European team kill. Team Ragnarok, which is the team that qualified from Mistilteinn, aka Herman, winning the Duelist Cup and bringing in Nesh and Luka. And then the other European team is the one who qualified through the World Championship qualifiers. The other team to qualify from Europe, aside from Josh's team, which is Brotdose 69, I believe, is the leader of one that qualified through that World Championship qualifiers. So yeah, Europe versus Europe. And game one, we have Herman versus... I'm just going to call him Herman from now on because Herman is a lot easier to say than Mistilteinn, and I don't know, just saying Miss doesn't seem right, but yeah, Herman versus Brotdose 69, nice. These are both the team's Rizio players, so I'm just going to assume that this is just two Rizio players because secondary decks are Ritual Beast and Snake Eyes Fiendsiv, with neither of which I think are good into Rizio, so this is probably just going to be a good old-fashioned Rizio mirror match. Yeah, okay, Ice Rizio gets Valor. Now, do you have the extender? Yes, you do. Okay, so that Valor never mattered. Alright, awesome. Yeah, summon X as a node. Then we're going to use 7th Tachyon. Now that you know your opponent doesn't have Droll, you're going to add Star Rizio. So is there a way to play around the Bureau with this line right now? Because this is 3 summons. This is going to be at a 4 summons. Okay, Herman's just electing not to play around Nibs. Just go into Starly's Photon Blast because he probably guesses here his opponent is playing Rizio anyways. And this is the end board you make versus Rizio, okay? In the Rizio mirror match. If you know for sure your opponent is playing Rizio, you go Star Rizio, place the Cross, then you go activate Cross. You go these two into Dual Drive. And Dual Drive effect, attach, and then Dual Drive is protected from Imperm now because you cannot Imperm, you cannot target Rizio Dual Drive because of the Starly's Photon Blast, and you get Ash, but Ash is definitely not resolving with Cross on the field. In fact, holy shit, you're gonna cross out Designator to Ash. Cross out the Ash, so the Ash doesn't resolve. You still have Cross live. Okay, I get it. Okay, the reason why. Okay, so the reason why you might be thinking, why did Herman cross out the Ash Blossom when he already had a Cross on the field, which Cross could just negate the Ash Blossom? The reason is he wants to maintain the second material on Dual Drive. With Dual Drive gives 100 attack monsters per material, so with an extra 100 attack, it would give Starly's Photon Blast 2k attack. And with 2k attack, Photon Blast protects not only everything else, but also protects itself from targeting. So you cannot target the Photon Blast. That way, like, you couldn't Imperm the Photon Blast, for example, and turn off the targeting protection. Because then Imperm and then into X, send Aggregator would do something versus your board. Versus, in this scenario, Photon Blast being untargetable as well means that they cannot target anything. Granted, Crossout Designator is also a good card to have in the mirror match. So, like, you know, there's really no wrong decision there. And, yeah, Baguska, this is the, yeah. No Detonator. If you guys are wondering, there's no Detonator. Baguska is way better in the mirror match than Detonator is, especially if it's under Star Leech where your opponent cannot target it. So, yeah, good luck with this. 7th Ascension into Tachyon, okay? And what you gonna do with this? Add X Rizio, okay? Special X Rizio. Cannot do a goddamn thing. Cannot target anything of Aggregator. Yeah, this is... Well, that was a... Great game. Great game. Fantastic game. Turn 1 player opens Crossout. Not that the Crossout even fucking mattered anyway, because it's Rizio, and Rizio can play through like 3 hand traps and still end on a fucking Detonator, but... Yeah. Some good... These are some good... You fucking hard-made master. That is some BM right there. That is taking advantage of your opponent not being allowed to scoop in Worlds. If that was in the ladder, you best believe their opponent would have fucking left as soon as Master Raid hit the board with the quickness. But yeah, that was. All right, game 2. It's Nesh versus Chris. Nesh, who's on Memento and Snake Eyes Fiendsmith. Those are some crazy deck choices, I gotta say. And then Chris is playing Malice and Tenpai. Significantly less crazy. I don't know what you would queue in this matchup against each other. Honestly, I got no idea what fucking Nesh is doing. Like, he's like we talk about the lines, seeing the lines. Okay, Nesh fucking snorts the lines. Okay, like who the fuck brings Snake Eyes Fiendsmith in this state into the worlds and picks Snake Eyes Fiendsmith to start with? Okay, so yeah, that's Fiendsmith. So Engraver Interact. Okay, we're gonna have to watch the Fiendsmith cutscene again. Dump Lurie, and the Requiem. Okay, keep going into Lacrima, to Engraver, into Wedge Tempo. So, is that a Jet Synchron? And then Sengen gets ashed. Okay, that's it's not fantastic because the Sengen gets ashed prevents you from going to Zombie Vampire, right? Because you go Sengen would add Golem, then place Golem in the back row to get the fucking second level 8, but now you can't make a Zombie Vampire because you can only have one Doom Dragon now. You can still go Sequence gets belled. That's unfortunate. That's a good bell. So now Engraver shovels back the Lurie. Some Tract makes Lacrima. Summon back the Engraver. Summon back Jet Synchron. Pitch Cashier Birth. Normal summon Ash Blossom. What the fuck is this? Okay, so this is Kashira Snake Eyes Fiends. Nice. And we've got 4 monsters on board, and your opponents use 2 hand traps. Clearly does not have a Nibiru, so go into Link Rebuild now. And then we're just going to go into Saryuja. Fair. Even chainbot the Saryuja from Ash with the Lacrima engraved, because that was necessary. But yeah, can we draw the Snake Eyes engine off this? We cannot. Okay, so wow, strongest Snake Eyes end board. Saryuja. Okay, to be fair, it was versus Ash plus belt. Okay, like, you know, try to play through Ash plus belt every game and try to end on a real end board, and not play Rise or Malice. But yeah, on my opponents, this is a crazy game state. we got Saryuja pass versus a Malice opponent that opens 0 Malice names and now has to blind allure with a fucking random hand trap in hand. I'm assuming that's what that is. And it gets Max Seed. All right, is that a second Ash Blossom? The second Ash Blossom will go kind of hard here. Not gonna lie. Okay, it's not. So we're gonna draw 2, and we're gonna. I guess the Malice in the mirror was like, why didn't you? Clearly, that was not an Ash Blossom because you would have just ashed the Max Seed, right? So he probably drew into the Ash Blossom off the Allure, which makes me wonder why he didn't set either Malice in the Mirror or Dauntless Impulse. I guess you want to keep Malice in the Mirror in hand just as an extra way to potentially play the game if you do draw into Malice, but I feel like if you draw into any playable Malice name, you already... I guess Hair. Yeah, Hair with Malice in the Mirror would go kind of hard, I suppose. Second Allure, by the way, managed a Hair. Speaking of Hair, this is still not combo because this is not a real Malice name. And wow, these are just some fantastic games right here. Malice opponent drew 4 cards of Allure, did not hit a single Malice name. That's really unfortunate. For everyone that's not playing Malice, for specifically the only people that are playing Malice. For everyone not playing Malice, I'm sure they're fucking jumping for joy right now that the Malice opponent bricked. Anyways, I don't think Nesh has... Does Nesh have a Snake Eyes engine still, or is this just going to be Fiendsmith beatdown? Fiendsmith control. Saryuja special summon. Holy shit, that is a Snake Eyes card if I ever saw one. That gets impermed. Who cares? This is game. Yeah, special March Hare. Again, who cares? Gain attack, and then Engraver send the March Hare, and then we enter battle phase. So yeah, that was that's a great showing by Snake Eyes and Malice. We really saw some nice Snake Eyes versus Malice gameplay in that game, right? Yeah, maybe we'll see them in later games, not this one. So now we have Luka versus Vins, and I think Luka is their designated Malice player, and they're also playing a second deck, which fucking Master Duel meta is not updating the second deck, so it's like Malice plus something. And what are they playing? Is that a second slight? Okay, so this isn't Malice. Luke's not even playing Malice. Luke is playing fucking Mermail. Yes, normal summon, open Neptibus, send Dragoon. No, any response by Vince. Vince is playing Memento and Voice's Voice. So, honestly, that's pretty smart queuing Mermail versus the dude playing Memento, because Memento does not play many hand traps, and if you don't open hand traps versus Mermail, you fucking lose the game. So that's exactly what's happening right now. Vince has not opened a hand trap, and he's gonna lose the game. Yeah, send Minstrel. Is that a Chaos Hunter? What the fuck? Okay, I was wrong. Vince did not queue Memento. He queued Voiceless Voice, which is honestly just as bad. As you can tell, that's a nice Chaos Hunter you got there. Literally cannot even use Chaos Hunter before we resolve Minstrel, by the way. So, yeah, now you have an Imperial Iron Wall. You have these two anti-Malice cards versus the guy playing Mermail. Fan-fucking-tastic. Also, you open Pot plus, like, this is a good hand if you were going first. Unfortunately, you're not going first, so the Chaos Hunter goes bye-bye, and now you're just going to lose the game. Add Mulan Glacia. Shrine. Summon Big Fish. Summon Mulan Glacia. Pitch 2. Pitch the fucking Barrier of the Voices Voice. You don't even have a starter anymore. Is that a white or a Monoceros? Yeah, okay. Gluttonous. So, man, it's been so long since I've seen someone play like the synchro package of the Big Fish, or the, like, Coelacanth, because most people have been dropping it, especially Judeyu, as we saw earlier. But Bahamut Shark into Lavirtue, add a Poseidra, Virtue, add the Dragoons back to hand. And now we can go into Poseidra Abyss. The Abyss is... Voices Voice is not playing through this, I'm sorry. Like, no amount of engine Voices Voice is playing through fucking Barrier Statue plus King the King Neptibus, you know, the Prince into the King, and then add more follow-up. This is Coral Dragon. You know, draw another card, why not, right? Deep Sea Prima Donna, draw a card. Poseidra, send Prince, revive the Shrine, Jesus Christ. We're gonna go into Changing now, and then, you know, they can have the Chaos Hunter back. The Chaos, or sorry, now that you shuffle back the Prima Donna, when it's single sent to the graveyard, shovels back a card into the deck. So this is a Hand Loop 3 plus Barrier Statue plus Changing. Just in case if you forgot what Mermail could do because you've been seeing too many Malice and Raizio, yeah, this is what happens when you lose the coin flip versus Mermail. Pot of Ixrath. It's Ash. You didn't even need to Ash that. I'm gonna be honest. Like okay. Yeah, these are. I don't know, man. This is. I don't know. I don't know if I can do this format, man. I don't know if I can play this format anymore. You know, Malice, Raizio, Mermail doing all this fucking shit. Okay, next set. Nesh versus Vince. Nesh, will we see more Snake Eyes Fiendsmith versus Vince? Will Vince actually get to activate a card this time? Because he kind of lost half his hand, and then he got his fucking extra ashed in that game. Yeah, so Nesh is going first. Will we see Engraver again? And we will see Lacrimo. This is Snake Eyes Fiendsmith. Gets Max Seed. And Nesh is just taking just giving them a draw of Max. You're taking the Max Seed Ash. Okay. Send and die about. Am I crazy here? Is Nesh taking the Max E challenge? And okay. What are you? Is this an FTK? Is this an FTK? Are you playing the FTK, Nesh? There's no way you're playing the FTK, right? Surely you don't have space in the extra deck to play FTK plus Fiendsmith, right? Linkaribo, okay. Snake Eyes popped. We're just playing through this Maxi. We're just not even giving a shit. Moon of the sequence. Surely the sequence will surely resolve, right? Well, it resolved. So Vince is playing Memento and Voiceless Voice. So I guess he's assuming that Vince is just playing no hand traps, and that Voiceless Voice is so bad that Voiceless Voice cannot. No, he's. Why would Vince queue in Voiceless Voice? Vince is 100% playing Memento. Okay, Voiceless Voice, that was clearly a Malice counter pick. You saw Iron Wall and fucking Chaos Hunter. Okay, so this is Memento, and this seems ridiculous giving Memento this many cards. Like, what the fuck? Zombie Vampire, okay. Zombie Vampire. Is that resolved? Probably, because... Is that double evenly matched? Holy shit. Wait, that was a win con right there. This is just full Snake Eyes Fiend Stick combo, except the problem is... Like... I mean, you can see the problem here, right? Chaos Hunter versus Memento. How many cards in hand is this? Is the win con timing out? Okay, let's see if they can play through a board with this many cards in hand. Like, surely, right? Memento and Anguish. Add Akihiron. Memento Fusion. Gets negated. Okay. Okay. Triple Tactics Talents. Okay. And so this is going to be... does Nesh play Goddess? If he plays Goddess, this is a Goddess tech where you just link your entire board into Goddess. And that way your opponent can't steal anything with the Triple Tactics. He's not. He's playing Nightmare Phoenix. Okay. Nightmare Phoenix. Steal the Chaos Hunter. Add the... Sure. Send the Anguish and 1-for-1. It gets ashed. Gets bone partied on the... Like, surely now. This is... Yeah. Like, come on, man. Like, play into Maxi. I respect trying to play into Maxi, but like at the same time, Mental King Chaos Hunter versus the... I mean, it does something, but it doesn't do enough. Like, this is definitely not enough. Like, I'm assuming. Okay, just keep triggering effects. Summon 2 back, and then add the mace, whatever. Like, okay, add the Jet Synchron. Cool. Special Horn Dragon, and then special Goblin. Pop the Chaos Hunter. The Chaos Hunter's gone now. Yeah, this is... Look, well, no, you didn't even need to make the Appaloosa there. You already know every card in hand, and then... yeah, okay. Yeah, make the Appaloosa negate the Linker Rebuild. I guess that's fair, but I mean, yeah. Akihiron makes your mental monster attack directly, attack for 3k, attack for 5k, it's over. That was... Like, I respect it. I know Nash, like, probably doesn't have any hand trapped in this deck. Like, it's probably just Kashtira, Fiendsmith, Snake Eyes, you know, all gas, no breaks. And when you get Max Seed, you say, like, you want to fucking die, but, like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Which, yeah. Unfortunately, you know, playing the Maxi with Snake Eyes, Fiendsmith, Kashtira is not a favorable prospect for anybody. But yeah, now we have the next game, which is going to be Herman, which I believe has not played yet this set. So Herman versus Bronas 69. No, sorry, it's Luka versus Bronas 69. Herman played earlier. I'm like having dementia right here. Okay, it's Luka versus Bronas 69. So Mermail and Atlantean. That's one deck. And then Malice versus Bronas, who's playing Ryzeo plus Snake Eyes Fiend. So what are you queuing into each other? I'm assuming you just queue Ryzeo if you're Bronas, and Luka, because your opponent's playing Ryzeo and Snake Eyes Fiend decks that traditionally do play hand traps. I guess Luka's probably playing Malice, I'm assuming now. Yeah, so that's Ryzeo. Obviously, add X. You always add X off 7 Tachyon to play around Droll better. And then send Aggregator. It gets impermed. So this is definitely not Mermail, because Mermail played Second Slice, so this is Malice. And then Pot of Desires. Holy shit. We going deep. Bronas, well, we drew a Sword Ryzeo off that, so I guess we're fine. Add Ice Ryzeo. Normal Ice. Ice gets... That's good. We still make a dual drive though. Do you have a third hand trap for the dual drive? Do you have a third hand trap for the dual drive? We do not. That's unfortunate. And we add Ice. We did not banish Cross or Node Ryzeo off the Desires. That's amazing. So we get to add both those to hand. And now we get to add Cross, shuffle back Detonator, and Ice, draw another card. go into Node Raizio, hits a full loss, and then we still end on. Yeah. Gotta love this format, right? You gotta love Raizio. Being able to make a detonator cross with a dual drive for a free cross father through 2 hand traps. Through imperm impulse, by the way, an impulse that popped the card. Like, Jesus Christ. Okay, so can Luka play through this with just Malice? Allure. Allure's a good card. Allure's a good card. Banish Chesycat, that's probably the best start you could ask for. Yeah, negate the Chesycat across, fair. Go Goldsark. Goldsark. Probably banish Dormouse. Yeah, Dormouse, especially the Dormouse. And then linked off the Dormouse into Linkaribo to check the back row, which could be Plasma Hole, I guess. I suppose. Normal summon White Rabbit. Okay, never mind, doesn't matter. We're just going SP. We're going SP, target the detonator. Detonator is gonna pop the. Try to pop the SP. SP is gonna. Just gonna let that go. Not even bother. Okay. And then Malice in Underground. Banish Malice in the Mirror. Malice in the Mirror, banish White Rabbit, and then the Call by the Grave is gonna fucking. Yeah, Call by on the White Rabbit. That's rough. That's rough. That makes the. Yeah. I mean, it was a valiant effort. That was but like that was legit. That was maybe the best hand I've ever seen Malice draw. You opened Allure, Goldsark, Impulse, Imperm, and somehow you didn't even stand a chance in that game. Like, well, you had a chance. If they didn't have to call by it, you might have had something there. But by the looks of it, it's. I mean, yeah, this is 7,800. You're at 74 because you're a Malice deck. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, I like the tech. I like the Gallant Grand Knight adding the Biru tech that's being played in this event as well. Okay, on to the next set, the third and final set, Nesh versus Brotdose. So if Nesh is gonna queue Snake Eyes Fiend Civ again, Brotdose is playing Raizio or Snake Eyes Fiend Civ. Could we see a Snake Eyes Fiend Civ mirror? No. No, this for sure, Nesh, you are playing Goblin Biker Memento, okay? The reason you play the Goblin Biker cards in Memento is to counter Raizio, right? Like, surely this has got to be the game where you don't play Snake Eyes Fiends, right? Well, I guess we can't tell because Brotdose won the coin flip and they're going first. And what are they playing? They're playing Snake Eyes Fiends. They're playing Snake Eyes Fiends. I think what happened is that so we know so these guys know roughly what decks each other are playing. So Brotdose saw that Nesh was playing Goblin Biker Memento and Snake Eyes Fiend Civ and thought that Goblin Biker Memento is specifically the counter pick for Raizio. So knowing that Nesh might pick Goblin Biker Memento to counter Raizio, Brotdose chooses the non-Raizio deck to play. Unfortunately, the non-Raizio deck does this, which ends on IP Unicorn Birth with Lacrima Engrave, and Brotdose loves playing Paradise, so that's probably another interruption from Paradise, so that's like 2, 3, 4-ish interruptions. Like, this isn't bad. Like, this board isn't bad or anything. It's just it's not a Raizio and it's not Detonator. And we get a Book of Eclipse, which doesn't matter. Still, yeah, again, this is more for the Raizio counterpick. Book of Eclipse would have been very good versus Raizio. In this versus Snake Eyes Fiendsmith, which I keep saying Snake Eyes as if there are Snake Eyes cards in this game, but the Book of Eclipse does not really do much because the Unicorn gets turned off, so like it turns off Birth, I guess it's good, and you don't get your extra deck ripped, but you can still go Lacrima summon Requiem summon back Lacrima, and then use the Lacrima as the material for the IP still. And yeah, so Mental Line Goblin gets summoned, and then now Brotdose is gonna do his Fiendsmith shit, so we're gonna go gets ashed. Never mind. Okay, this game's over. This game's just over. Those better be 2 good hand traps in hand. That better be like Valor Nib or something. Like, yeah. I mean, I guess he wouldn't have done that much better if he was playing Raizio because he would have just gone Book of Eclipsed. At the same time, this end board kind of got Ash, Book of Eclipse too, and then this is not good. So we're just doing mental stuff now. Okay. Pop the Gaddock. We're gonna go into Gabonga. The Gabonga makes an appearance at the finals of a World Championship qualifiers. I know MBT is probably fucking like creaming his pants right now. Yeah, suck up that IP, and we're playing Goblin stuff now, and we're gonna go into Relinquish Anima, and manage the spell shard and grade, detach the IP to add a Mental Goblin, and then we're gonna go into Celine, revive the Anguish, which is a spellcaster. We're gonna go into Appaloosa. Not access code. We're not even going for game. I guess. Do you not run? Yeah, you don't need access code to go for game. This is still game. Yeah. So Mace comes back. Akihiron comes back. Akihiron makes everything attack directly. Mental Fusion. Pop the Akihiron. Add Bone Party. Bone Party. So add the Mental Fusion back to hand, and now we can use Mace. Pop itself to add Dark Blade, and then that will. Oh, we already had the thing in Grave. Okay, yeah, that's game. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there was a good deck for Bronas to play into that matchup. I'm not gonna lie. That's a. I have not been impressed with Snake Eyes Fiendsmith. Okay, Snake Eyes Fiendsmith has just lost every single game it's been queued in so far between Nesh and Bronas. It's just no, what am I saying? No, it won a game. It won a game versus Malice. Okay, it lost 2 games which were not particularly close. One due to Maxi, which is fair, and then the other one, it just did not open Snake Eyes engine. And then the other game, it won because Malice allured 2 times and did not hit a single Malice name off of 4 draws off allure. So yeah, that is the that is what needs to happen for Snake Eyes Fiendship to apparently win a game. Now we have Herman versus Vince. So Herman's playing Rizio, Ritual Beast, and Vince is playing Memento plus Voiceless Voice. Will we see the Ritual Beast? Here's we're definitely not seeing the. Okay, probably not. So that's a Dark Blade. Dark Blade, the Fulos gets called by the Grave, and then we get. Yeah, classic Lancia. Lancia protect the Fulos, protect the Maxi. Everyone's favorite fucking interaction with Lancia. So yeah, Herman's probably just playing Rizio in that case. I can't imagine you playing Lancia and Ritual Beast, right? Like that sounds crazy, but yeah. So Vince is playing Memento. Herman also probably doesn't want it. Like it would be crazy because I know Vince is the Voices Voice counterpick with the Imperial Iron Walls and the Chaos Hunter. It's for Malice, obviously. However, those cards also fuck over Ritual Beast. And like it would be insane if Herman picked a Ritual Beast into a player that was playing anti-Malice Voices Voice. But yeah, we get a drop, Fulos. So like this is still a game because Vince is comboing, but he's under Fulos, so he's not gonna do the full combo probably. Well, yeah, Bone Party, pop at Tatsuno, Odoshigo, the horse, Akihiron, Tatsuno, Toshigo, summon, pop, send more cards, mental in. Take line, revive the Goblin, pop Akihiron, send the fusion to Grave so you can add the mental fusion back to hand. Shuffle 5 back for the big guy, the creation, and then pass and then reset the Bone Party. So yeah, the only giving them a couple draws of Fulos, and you end on a decent end board, but this is Rizio, and Rizio has 6 cards in hand, so we can probably see them do something. Send the Activator. Activator is gonna negate the dude so that they can't summon back from the graveyard, and then X Rizio is gonna add a Sword Rizio, a special sword, add ice, anything. They're gonna use the Creation King now to pop both Rizio monsters, and then they're gonna chain Bone Party, pop the Creation King. So now that you summon out the Anguish, then the Anguish and the field cell is going to trigger, so you're going to summon back the Akihiron, summon back the Horn Dragon, and then add the Sleepy, the hand, and then Droll and Lockbird. Just Droll the mental player on your turn, I suppose. Tactics. Take your opponent's... Holy shit. Normal summon Ice Rizio. Go into Star Rizio. Star Rizio, place the cross. Activate cross. We're going to go into Detonator. Detonator attached to aggregator, and we're gonna special ice Razio. Is this game? It's not Razio plugin. What's the? Okay, so Baguska and the. Was the droll necessary there? Yeah, Sleepy gets negated by the cross. That was interesting gameplay. Yeah, Herm's a much better player than I, so I'm gonna trust him. I'm gonna trust him on the droll, on the self droll, and then the triple tactics take the the combined creation and then just give it back. Where was the mace, by the way? The mace steal. Does this have an on-field effect? Story record, you can target up to 3 face women. Okay, so if this card gets popped, then you can pop more cards, but I'll take Harmon's word for it. I mean, Baguska is pretty good versus Memento anyways, especially if they're not playing Fiendsmith, which they're not playing Fiendsmith because the Fiendsmith cards are in Broness's deck, so this is just pure Memento, and get to do some stuff all under Baguska still. This is yeah, Baguska, if you're not playing Fiendsmith cards, is actually really hard to deal with for Memento. Yeah, Memento Fusion, going to SP Little Knight. Finally, you have the out to Baguska. Well, not really, because you have a cross. Damn, that's... It's really hard. Like, if cross plus Baguska is just so hard for most decks to deal with, because most decks only have really one out to Baguska, which is like exactly SP Little Knight, which cross can just negate. So now we can Light Charmer, summon the X Prizeo. And we're going to go into Selene. So maybe we're playing Access Code here. Selene, bring back Anguish. And yeah, we are playing Access Code. Okay, well, in that case, this game's like over, right? Plasma Hole on the... the classic. The classic Plasma Hole in Graveyard to go into Typhon to turn off the Access Code. Now, it's still, like, you can just run over the Access Code. So, or you can just run over the fucking... Typhon. I don't know why'd you run over the Typhon over the Baguska. Because if you run over the Baguska, you can start playing the game and you no longer have the Baguska on the field. I guess Vince might have forgot that the aggregator was attached to the detonator still, so that when he attacked over the Typhon, he didn't realize that the aggregator would just negate the access code, because he was probably banking on using the access code to pop the cross and pop the Baguska after. But yeah, that looks to in my perspective, from my view, all the way back in fucking table 500, that looks like a misplay to me. But yeah, it's not that big of a deal, because again, the Typhon is already on the field anyways. But yeah, Maxi, cross, put back, plug in an X, draw a card, and just pass. Just pass on Baguska 1 more turns. This will surely be enough, right? Yeah, he imperms the Access Code Togger, so he still cannot pop the Baguska in main phase 1. If he wants to get rid of the Baguska, he has to go to battle phase, which he does. And however, like, this is still, I mean, it's not favorable. Maxi. How many Maxis have resolved this game? We got 1 Fula resolved, and then 2 Maxis that resolved. And okay, like, Harmon's gonna be on 2 cards. Okay, they're gonna be on a top deck plus whatever Raizio cross draws them. So, yeah, 7 Tachyon. That's a good draw. That's a good draw. Get the X to hand, and then special X, add a sword. Do you have anything to do with this? Summon back the Anguish with the creation, and then the Creation King is gonna pop all 3 of those. And then it's gonna trigger. Then the Akihiron comes back. This is just infinite follow-up. Comes back Horn Dragon, Ice Raizio, and then we're gonna pop the Horn Dragon, and then Horn Dragon's gonna trigger. It's gonna pop both these 2, and then the Gadeg's gonna add the Bone Party back to hand as follow-up. And yeah, that's game. That's a good game. That was a great game. Yeah, I can't say if, I personally, I'm not a Memento player, so I can't say if like the lines were the most clean, and obviously like there were some questionable plays potentially with like the Droll from Herman on his turn, which admittedly Droll is like not the best card versus Memento anyways. Like who cares if you Droll your opponent really, and if you Droll Memento when they already established their field, and the attacking over the Typhon instead of the Baguska. I mean that was defensible, I suppose, but like uh yeah, the Typhon that didn't end up mattering because either way, like if you attack over the Baguska, the Typhon would just bounce the access code back to your extra deck, so that wouldn't be good. So attacking over the Typhon was probably correct, but then you just have to deal with Baguska again some other way, which is just wait a turn. So yeah, no, it was correct. I'm nowhere near as good as these players. So like I can clearly see why attacking over the Typhon was a better play over attacking over the Baguska, even when it was gonna get negated. Fuck, I clicked the wrong. I clicked the wrong one again. I'm like that game was actually so long. I actually forgot where we were. Okay, come on, animation, come on. We get the we get it. Okay. Final game of this game 9. It's good that in both these semifinals we actually got to play out all 9 games. So you know more Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Okay, so Chris won the coin flip, and Chris is gonna go first versus Luka. Chris is on Malice and Tenpai. Okay, so clearly Chris is not playing Tenpai. we know Chris is not playing Tenpai, so he's playing Malice, and then Luka is probably just playing Malice himself. There's probably a Malice mirror match. Yeah, White Rabbit. Set GWC. Thank God. If I see another fucking White Rabbit set TB 11 one more time in my life, like I'm gonna fucking lose it. But yeah, they are hard open Malice and Underground, and then Maxi on the Dormouse effect gets ashed. Cool. Alright, cool. That's a nice hand trap you had. Now your hand trap doesn't matter, and now I'm gonna full combo you because your hand trap got negated, because that's a lovely mechanic. And yeah, we're gonna go Red Ransom, and then Link Decoder, and then we're gonna Bistio Magnum at the Link Decoder, so you don't get access to Apple immediately. Then you're gonna Droll, and then you're gonna Ash. You're gonna Droll your Magnamut so that I feel like the Droll doesn't really matter anymore because you can't. You're really not gonna be adding much more after this. You already resolved Red Ransom, and the Mouse Underground, the Mouse in the Mirror is in your hand. But yeah, we're gonna go Splash Mage now. Splash Mage revive the White Rabbit. We're gonna go White Binder banish, reset the GWC, don't banish anything, go Hair, banish the White Rabbit. We're gonna go into Firewall Dragon, and then Firewall Pass with GWC set, and versus a Magnamut with 2 cards in hand. So this is not a good position for Luka, not at all. Set probably the trap and set Dormouse, and then holy shit, Impulse. Is that a top deck Impulse on the GWC? That's insane. That's crazy. That turns off every one of their interruptions. You don't get the White Rabbit set MTP banish. You don't get the Firewall bounce. You don't get shit. The Firewall is probably gonna bounce back the Ash to their hand too. Like that was, yeah, they got hooked by Impulse. Okay, so now we go Dark Charmer. Dark Charmer, insane in the mirror match, against Max Seed, which that was a long time to hold the Max Seed. I'm not gonna lie, but yes, Mouse in the Mirror, banish the in-hand White Rabbit. Do you have to top deck a fucking Malice? Did you have to top deck that White Rabbit to make the Malice in the Mirror live? Because if you did, that was insane as well. Yeah, Malice in the Mirror, White Rabbit set the MTP. You will get the MTP, and you won't get the MTP banished. All you do is add a Hair to hand, and Hair can banish the White Binder, and then the White Binder can summon itself. But the White Binder can only banish from the graveyard, like it doesn't. You banish these 3, banish the Red Ransom, banish the Mouth in the Mirror. So like, you can do all this advantage, but none of this is providing any interruption. You're just adding cards to your hand. And then yeah, Red Ransom doesn't even trigger doesn't even have. Yeah. So you just gotta live. Ball Drake on the fucking what's it called, the link decoder, and then access code. That was a timeout win. That was a bruh. Okay, Luke, Chris had that. I actually, when I said that the thing that it didn't do anything, I was wrong. Okay, that entire point of that was to summon back the White Binder to co-link it to the Firewall Dragon. That way you would have the Firewall bounce live. And the Firewall bounce was reserved for the access code, and he had it. He had to bounce the Firewall. That's all he did. He needed one more second, and then that was it. But he ran out of time. Master Duel timer, baby. So with that, Luka wins, and then the final, as you saw, was set. It's going to be unfortunately Fala Galera lost from last semifinal, so the final is Chiba Corp PAX team versus Ragnarok, which is Nesh and Herman's team.